obviously shattered me, because that shattered my confidence, right? Because I was like, no one will ever love me again. Like, so long as I have acne and I have these, like, I'm not entitled to have my own emotions and share emotions, no one will ever love me. Honestly, you don't want anything else in life, just want clear skin. Hormonal acne, especially in women, like women in their 20s now as well. We're not even talking teenagers, we're talking women in their 20s. It's increasing at a crazy rate. When I first got acne, I was 12 years old. Like, every night when I went to go wash my face, I was dreading it.
And what did the doctor say?
Like, listen, we've got other problems to deal with. We don't have time, please get out. One GP told me I do have PCOS because I wanted to rule it out, so I did the test. The next day, a different GP phoned me up with the same results and told me I didn't have it. Sorry. I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to stop relying on other people and I'm just going to figure this out for myself. And that's when everything changed.
What do you think of glass skin?
Please.
Best and worst skincare trend you've seen online? Brushy thing, but
don't use those. Oh my god.
Why?
Oh.
Liposuction?
Well.
BBL? Boob job? Facelift? She was only 32 and she had a facelift.
He said, you need to go on this really harsh antibiotic to clear your skin because I can't handle your emotions anymore, or I'm breaking up with you.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Cilia Li Show, the podcast that's all about helping you to become the best version of yourself in all areas of your life. I'm your bestie, your girl, Cilia Li. So if you've been following me for a while, you know that self-love and confidence are like my favorite topics. And usually, so my story, why I'm so passionate about confidence and self-love is because of my body, like, you know, the sort of body positivity and all of that. But confidence also is all about other areas of your life. So today I invited an advocate for skincare, skin confidence. She's a skin confidence coach. Did I say that right? Yeah.
Yep.
And you know what? Let me introduce you to Kiara.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
How are you?
I'm good. Really, really good.
Thank you so much for coming on, by the way.
Of course.
I am because I found her on Instagram 2 weeks ago, I think.
You know what? It's exactly 2 weeks. I think. Yeah, almost 2 weeks.
Because I follow, if you guys don't know, Simon Squibb, and he's someone that's basically gives money out, help people with chasing their dreams or their businesses. And I came across, and he posted a video of your pitch.
My pitch, yeah.
And when I was watching it, because obviously it's interesting to see like what business ideas these are. Anyway, one, because it's also your girl, so it's helping women. So I was like, oh, let me watch this. And then it was that line you said. I said to you,
I remember. You DM'd it me, and I was like, oh.
yeah, that line you said. It broke me until I broke it. I was like, oh my days, that is powerful. In fact, I was like, that's sexy. That line is sexy. Yeah, I love it. Is that your slogan for your business?
You know what? It's not. Like, that wasn't even planned for my pitch. Obviously, I wrote down my pitch on my phone before. It didn't go to plan.
Yeah.
I didn't even look at my phone when I was doing the pitch. But I think when I was standing there and I had like 1 minute, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to speak from the heart. Yeah. And it just came out. And obviously watching the pitch back, I was like, that sounds powerful.
Very
but it's
powerful.
Because it is powerful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because you was like, yeah, it broke me, but I decided, bitch, I'm taking over.
That
do you know what I mean?
Broken. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love this. I was just like, I'm DMing this girl. I was like, I want her on my podcast because you put obviously skin and confidence, all of that. It's like, I need her on. I want to ask you something about after that pitch. So now, how does it help? Has he back in your business? What's he doing?
So he reached out to me literally on the same day. The craziest part for me was obviously I saw, like, I wasn't on my phone, and then all of a sudden I was getting all these messages, and then it said on my phone, I got a notification saying Richard Branson wants to collab with you, and I was like, sorry.
What do you mean? As in
like he wanted to collab on a post with, like, as in the Richard Branson wanted to collab with 6 million Instagram followers, wanted to collab on a post with me, like a collaborative reel.
Yeah.
So I was like, is my phone bugging? Like, am I bugging?
Yeah.
I was really, really confused. And then went onto my phone, and literally my phone was blowing up. Like, in that moment, my phone was... And I haven't experienced that for a long time. So I was just... Naturally, I was overwhelmed, but it was like, it was an amazing feeling. And yeah, literally on the same day, Simon Squibb had reached out to me. Obviously, what I'm planning now and what's pretty much almost confirmed is my skin confidence event.
Amazing.
Which I'm hosting in London. So off the back of that, he is helping me kind of just plan that and make it happen and make it everything that I want it to be.
So you met him?
I haven't met him.
Oh, okay,
No,
okay.
I've never met him. I would love for him to come to my event, which
So wait, so Simon,
Yeah.
is just he's helping. Is he giving funding for this?
So the way that the ring
Yeah.
doorbell pitch worked was he said that he is picking a winner every single week,
Mm-hmm.
and that winner, whatever their dream is, whatever their pitch was, whatever they wanted to do, he was going to give £1,000 towards that, basically. So obviously the £1,000 for me is going to be put towards my event, whether that's for the venue, whether that's for whatever, whatever it needs to be for is what I'm using it for.
Yeah.
Because it's so important to me to get that. I want to get it done. Because it's been one of my dreams for ages. And for me to be able to host an event in London about skin confidence with women who are going to be coming, who literally want to fall in love with their skin, like that is the space that I needed a long time ago.
Yeah.
So if I'm able to create that for like other people in the community, I'm going to do it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, congratulations, by the
Thank
way.
you so
Yeah.
much.
You know what? I bought his book and I just thought, maybe I should pitch to him as well then.
You should.
I don't know why I didn't think of
The
that.
thing, I feel like with him, he actually is willing to help anyone. I think the one thing he said is like, you have to be so specific with what you want. And I think that applies to anything in life, like not just pictures, but you have to be so specific and so quick with knowing what you want and the impact you want to have for him to even begin to, I guess, listen. You know what I mean? I love that you bought his book because I had never actually had bought his book, but I've spoke to so many people now off the back of the pitch that have bought his book.
Yeah,
and,
I bought it recently.
I've loved it.
Only recently I bought it, and I want part 2. But he just speaks to me. He's like, I love his work. I love the fact he's helping people to chase their dreams and come true. And because the stuff he says is literally how I think as well. And it feels so good to see someone who's been chasing their dreams and making it happen, become a millionaire. You know, things like that. And the fact that he's saying that life is too short. I always say life is too short. Go do, what you think, what your soul always wanted to do, you know, things like that. Yeah, not be in a rat race, 9 to 5. No, not that there's anything wrong with 9 to 5, but if you're happy with it, fair enough. But yeah. But anyway, so that's that.
It's all happening. And obviously it's happening in a very short amount of time. Like it's all happening very quickly, but I'm loving every moment of it. Just because it's like things are just finally working out.
Yeah.
You know, like I've been working on this in the background for such a long time and trying to get my message clear, which obviously hasn't been very easy because when it comes to skin, people just want clear skin. They don't think about confidence. They don't they just accept that their confidence is lost as soon as they have a skin condition.
Yeah.
No one ever considers that they could be confident whilst having a skin condition. So I'm bringing that to the table because
I love that.
Has to be done.
So what exactly do you do? So I said skin confidence coach.
Yeah.
What exactly is that?
So I'm an NLP practitioner. And what that basically means is I essentially am a mindset coach. So when I talk about confidence and when I talk about confidence with my clients and work on their confidence, it's confidence through their mindset and shifting their beliefs. So with someone who's had a skin condition, right, normally skin conditions are long term. So if someone has had acne, for example, right, for let's say 12 years of their life, you can imagine how many experiences they've been through and how many beliefs they've taken on about themselves, whether that's to do with their confidence, the way they look, the way they're perceived by other people, right? So it's kind of what I do is I make sure that we undo that work and almost like rewrite their story so that they can then go ahead with their life and continue with their life on their own terms. So rather than them waking up in the morning and their skin dictates the way that they live their life, they do. And they're in control again.
Yeah.
So it's literally just putting my clients back in control of their lives.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about your personal story. Because you said for 13 years you've been suffering with cystic acne, right?
Yeah.
So let's say if you was to those 13 years of your life was a movie, what would I see?
A lot. Behind the scenes, a lot. Yeah. When I first got acne, I was 12 years old. So very young. At the time, honestly, I know everyone says this, but honestly at the time, there was no one else around me that had a visible skin condition. Whether they did or not, I couldn't see it. And for me, obviously, that was just like, it was heartbreaking because there was literally no one I could relate to. The reason that I do what I do now is because I realized my entire journey, being able to reflect now, was alone. Like I did it all alone. And it led me to make some really bad decisions because I didn't have all the knowledge that I have now back then. So my journey, if you were to look at it, it would literally just be me alone fighting with myself day in, day out because obviously with acne, it's not something you can just click your fingers and it's gone overnight. Like that's something that you're waking up with every single day, but you've just got to carry on with life. So obviously school for me was really difficult, but I took loads of quick fix approaches because I was so stressed. So I went on the pill. I was on the pill for 5 years.
Did it work?
No. I was on the pill, and I actually wasn't on the pill for my acne. I was on the pill because I was in a relationship.
Okay.
But it did clear my skin. So I was so confident in myself in my relationship at the time because my skin was clear, right? But as soon as I came off the pill, that's when it like took a turn for the worst. It got so much worse than what it was. It was already really, really bad and really, really severe. But as soon as I came off the pill, it went to another level. And then I went on something called Roaccutane. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's basically like the most harsh antibiotic you can possibly go on for acne. As in, like, it works so well, but it also damages your body in so many ways. Yeah. And I was like 21 when I went on this, which again, like, my body wasn't ready for something like that. But it got to a point where I was like, if I don't do this, I don't know what's gonna, like, I actually don't know if I'll be here, because it, like, my mental health was really, really bad. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to take it. And it worked. It healed my skin and like cleared my skin. 6 months later, acne came back and came back worse. So I was literally fighting with myself again. And you can imagine when I woke up with acne that one day, 6 months later, once you've taken the like strongest antibiotic you can take for skin and it didn't work for you, what do I do now? Yeah. That was literally what I was thinking to myself. And that's when I started my Instagram page.
So in terms of mental health,
yeah,
were you depressed? Were you suicidal at one point? Or
I would honestly say all of the above, and it's crazy because at the time I had no idea. So at the time, if you asked me back then if I was depressed, I would say no. And I don't know if that's an ego thing or if that's because I didn't have much knowledge about things like depression and like mental health. It wasn't spoken about.
Yeah, it's true.
And it should have been when I was on an antibiotic as strong as that, but of course it wasn't. There was no support mentally. Yeah. There was only support physically. So if you asked me back then, I would have said no. If you ask me now, definitely. But in a sense, I'm so grateful that it happened because now I'm able to relate to so many people that I speak to day in, day out. Yeah. So I guess it's a blessing in disguise, but obviously at the time, now looking back, I'm like, I need to give myself grace because I went through so much for years.
Did it hurt?
Yeah.
Oh, so it actually hurt.
Oh, yeah. Like, so, you know, like every night when I went to go wash my face, I was dreading it. Like I would stop myself and sit in my bed, just like not wanting to go to the bathroom, not wanting to look in the mirror. Yeah. The whole process was horrible. And again, it was something that I had to do day in, day out because I thought I was like, okay, but if I don't clean my skin, it's just going to get worse. So I had to go through the process of cleaning my skin, even though it was horrible and I had to look in the mirror and it was painful.
How did you feel about yourself?
I think because I got a taster of what clear skin was like when I was on the pill, as soon as my acne came back, I didn't feel like myself. Every single day I was like, this isn't me. Like I'm supposed to have clear skin. I'm destined to have clear skin. Because when you have acne and when you have it for such a long time, all you can think about is clear skin. Like that's all you actually, honestly, you don't want anything else in life. Just want clear skin. It becomes obsessive, which obviously isn't healthy at all.
And what did the doctor say? Like, how did they help? Apart from the pill, what else?
So I went on like every possible antibiotic for acne. So obviously I went on the most severe one, but I also went on all the ones that aren't as severe as well. Yeah. So the ones that they kind of just throw at you just because it might help. So I went on all of those. Those were the first things that I ever went on.
But did they diagnose you with anything?
No. It's crazy because they never actually told me like, oh, you have acne. Until I went to a dermatologist because I was going to GPs for years because to get a dermatologist appointment you had to be like a certain age. You had to wait like 6 months at least to even get a referral. Wow. So I had to go to a GP. And what I've realized is over the course of like the time that I've been doing this, GPs not saying they don't have the knowledge, but when it comes to acne, there's so much more to it than just giving someone a cream.
To be honest, right, GPs in general anyway, a lot of the time they're just guessing, oh, try this, come back in a week if it doesn't work, so... Yeah,
it's guesswork, massively. Yeah. But obviously for me, I trusted GPs and I was brought up to trust GPs. So I was like, oh, they know best.
Do you think also, because it's skin, they will see it as, oh, it's just vanity?
Yeah.
So they wouldn't take you as serious. They just be like, oh, try this. So do you know what I mean? Like, it's not much of a...
Because think about it, if like, especially now, I think, if a woman was to go into a GP or go to a GP and say, I feel really awful mentally because of the way I look,
Yeah.
they're going to be like, listen, we've got other problems to deal with. We don't have time, please get out. But like the reality of it is, even obviously with the research I've done as well, based on my coaching and stuff, like acne, hormonal acne, especially in women, like women in their 20s now as well. We're not even talking teenagers. We're talking women in their 20s. It's increasing at a crazy rate.
So till now, it still flares up even till now.
So I went on a holistic healing journey. So I was like, okay, I need to focus on my lifestyle and like what I can add into my life rather than take away from my life, because everyone thinks that when you try and heal your acne or clear your acne, it becomes really restrictive. So you have to stop doing this and you have to stop eating this. And I was like, I can't live like that. Like I want to enjoy my life.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to add things into my life, whether that's like more exercise or different ways of exercising, like doing a dance class or whatever it is, to one, just make me happier, and two, to see if things work. So it was a trial and error situation. But now my skin is, for the most part, clear. Obviously, I get flare-ups, and I'm actually grateful for those flare-ups because it reminds me of where I was, but also it helps people relate to me because I'm not just the girl who's cleared their skin that now helps other people to clear their skin.
Yeah, but
I'm the girl who still goes through it and can relate.
But you've become stronger and you not let it become your identity.
No, exactly. Like people literally come into my DMs and they tell me that I'm known as the skin confidence like girl, and I'm like, oh, thank you, like that's lovely. Yeah.
So do you have like PCOS or something?
No. So
nothing.
This is the other thing, right? GPs. One GP told me from the same surgery. One GP told me I do have PCOS because I wanted to rule it out, so I did the tests. One GP phoned me up from my results and told me I do have it. The next day, the same GP phoned me up. No, a different GP phoned me up with the same results and told me I didn't have it. So I was like, so what would you like me to do with this information? Because within the space of 2 days, with the same results, you guys are telling me different things. So I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to stop relying on other people and I'm just going to figure this out for myself. And that's when everything changed. Like that's when, again, like I gained that control that I'd lost for God knows how many years.
So what did you do?
So what I did is I actually reached out to a nutritionist, just to kind of get an idea of what I could change and like what was potentially going on. And again, she was amazing, but she really stuck. She kind of made sure that I remembered that, again, it's a situation where you want to add things in. You don't want to get to a point where you're restrictive because no one wants to live like that. So it was literally just a situation of switching up little things in my diet that maybe I needed to just leave for a little bit to let my body heal. But the whole point of that was so that my body was healed, meaning I can bring those things back into my diet.
How do you heal you?
So it's really strange, but things like, for example, like I didn't eat meat for 4 months, and I'm a meat eater. Like I do eat meat here and there, not all the time, but here and there. So basically, my body was, one, obviously really stressed, right? Like my nervous system was all over the place, which doesn't help.
And stress
flares up your skin as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my body, even my hormones were all over the place because my body was just like constantly running. There was no time for me to like breathe and take a breather. So same as my body, like my body just wasn't getting a break. So that's something we worked on as well, which obviously mindset coaching, I invested in a mindset coach as well. And that massively helped me. One, because it gave me a lot of clarity on what happened in my past, and it allowed me to make sense of what had happened. And what I realized is, as soon as I healed my nervous system and I knew how to regulate my own nervous system, the healing that came with food actually became a lot easier because my relationship with food wasn't as like restrictive. I saw it as, okay, this isn't restrictive. This is me bettering myself.
Yeah.
So it didn't feel as heavy.
I love what you just said, your relationship
I mean?
with food, because I used to be a personal trainer.
Oh, really?
And I used to always tell my clients, there's nothing to do with acne, by the way,
No,
but because of the food,
it
made me think of, basically, I used to say to my clients, because they always ask me about counting calories and all this macro stuff. I'm the kind of personal trainer that I never told my clients who do calorie counting. If you want to, you can, but you
Yeah.
don't have to count calories or macro. But I wanted you to fix your relationship with food, because you can be eating the healthiest food, you can be working out all the time, but if you're not mentally happy or happy where you are, and you're always feeling guilty eating certain food, then you're not actually 100% healthy.
Yeah, it kind of
and
defeats
happy.
the point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I was just like, just be at peace with yourself, be at peace with the food that you're having, but be mindful what you're having. Obviously, if you know you're going to have burger every single day, for example, or something like that, you know that is that there's no, it doesn't have the right nutrients that you need for your body, then obviously, then that's bad. But if you know that you're cooking from scratch or whatever,
Yeah.
and even if you sometimes have a chocolate bar or whatever, but you not being guilty of it, that energy you put in is what matters.
Yeah. Literally, that's one thing that I love, that you said the guilt thing, because that's huge. Like when it comes to acne and with my clients as well, guilt is genuinely, like food guilt and food fear is one of the biggest things that I work on, because someone will have like a small bar of chocolate, as you just said, and then they'll hate themselves for the next like 7 days, 8 days, because it's all that will be in their mind. And as soon as they break out, they'll blame it on that bar of chocolate and then blame themselves for allowing themselves to have that bar of chocolate. And it's just a constant cycle. And like, as you said, it's like if they're in that constant cycle and they don't know how to get themselves out, then they're just staying in that cycle.
They can get depressed, innit? Yeah. Talking about food and like holistic healing, stuff like that, treatment. Did you ever try Chinese medicine?
I did, actually. I did.
Because I was going to say, like, in Chinese medicine, when you have acne, I don't know what the exact translation is, but they say it's basically you have a lot of toxin inside your body. It's very acidic. So certain meat, I don't know which meat anyway, but definitely not chicken. I can't remember which type of meat. I think maybe red meat.
Red meat.
Yeah, it's very acidic and it actually can flare up your skin.
Yeah.
And if you eat a lot of fried stuff and all of that, so
oils.
Yeah. Just a quick one. I want to ask you a big favor. Can you please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already done so? Follow me on Spotify or whatever platform you're listening on, because it would help me grow my channel, help me reach more people. It would mean the world to me. Thank you so much. All right, let's get back to the episode.
Yeah. So actually, it's when you said acidic, the nutritionist that I was working with, she said to me, she was like, this is going to be really simple. Right now, we're probably working on a very acidic diet. We need to work on an alkaline diet. So she was like, high alkaline foods, just consume as much of that as you can. And like those weren't even foods that were horrible. They were things like melon and lime and stuff like that, and just reducing my meat intake. So actually, I really enjoyed that process of like just being able to explore more with foods, because I'm someone naturally who will try anything anyway. So actually, it gave me the chance to like get back into cooking again and stuff like that, and like eating more raw foods, I guess, rather than like cooking everything. So that is the one thing that she told me to do, and now that's the same practice that I'm giving to my clients, because that helps with any skin condition, not even acne. Like it helps with anything. So
talking about the Chinese medicine, about the acidic food and stuff like that. So I don't know if you know this, but also just also for the audience, because they might think, oh, does that mean just go vegetarian, eat lots of fruit? But it's not. In Chinese medicine, there's certain food, even healthy food, considered healthy. For example, oats is actually very acidic.
Yeah.
I think it's because to do with the way they're made or something. I'm not sure. And also, for example, certain fruits are actually quite acidic as well. Not like orange, but as in like lychee kind of family. Those ones are actually very acidic.
So like green apples, right? So like with apples, red apples are not acidic. Green apples really acidic. Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
So like if, for example, I was helping someone heal through like holistically through nutrition, I would always recommend for them to have like a red apple rather. But it's crazy, right? Because obviously people would never know these things, and again, like you have to be able to guide them in the right way, because that could get to the point where things become restrictive again. It's like, I could never have a green apple again. That's not what we're saying, right? Like people need the education to know what decisions to make and make the right decisions. That's all it is.
What's the most common misconceptions
about acne?
Acne,
Okay, one, like I said earlier, that it's really restrictive to heal, and that like it's the most like difficult thing in the world to kind of clear. It's not. When it comes to confidence, honestly, I think acne like affecting your confidence, you can't control that when it first happens. So like when imagine you've just woken up with acne, you never had acne before. Of course, your confidence is going to be knocked.
Yeah, because you don't know what's going on, innit?
Yeah, exactly. But when someone accepts that that's them for life and they can't be confident so long as they have a skin condition, right? That's a misconception completely. Because I know not a lot of people are like show this online and on social media and stuff, but you can literally be the exact same person or the person that you want to be whilst having a skin condition. Like it really shouldn't stop you. And obviously it's easier said than done, but that's why I do the work I do now, because it is a misconception. And like people need to understand that so if you're in control of the way you're obviously perspective, right? When you have acne, perspective is huge. Because if you know that you have the right perspective and you're focusing on whatever it is you want for yourself, then really something like acne, which is literally just something on your face when you think about it, shouldn't stop you from doing whatever it is you want to do.
So obviously that basically that is like detaching your worth
from what's visually there.
Yeah. So how did you manage to do that?
So
especially with social media being around,
this is the thing, right? Like obviously social media is so difficult, even with things like filters, right? Like when filters became a thing.
Did you use this filter?
I relied on filters. Like every single day I relied on filters. And now actually my friends who knew me 10 years ago and I'm still like best friends with them now, there's a girl, one of my best friends, she uses filters sometimes and she's like she has really, really nice skin, but she still uses filters and she's like, she said to me, she was like, I actually can't believe that you're like how you show up online just unapologetically and you will never ever use a filter. Like it's crazy because obviously she knew what I was like 12 years ago. So even in that sense, filters and social media, it's obviously like it's the most difficult thing ever because even to switch off from social media, you can't really switch off from social media unless you were to delete everything, right? So obviously, again, I think with acne, it's the everyday of it that's difficult. It's not the acne itself. It's the fact that you have to scroll on social media every day. It's the fact that you have to wake up with it every day. It's the fact that you can't click your fingers and it's gone tomorrow, or you can't take like a painkiller and the pain is gone. You know what I mean? So I think with that, it's people assume that it's the acne itself that is the problem. It's the fact that it's an everyday situation. But that's why if you build habits for yourself, everyday habits, then you're fine. You know, and you work towards whatever goal it is that you have. You work towards it with those habits.
What do you think of glass skin?
Please. Please.
So first of all, I do like my Korean skincare products.
Oh no, so do I.
Yeah.
Honestly, so do I. Your skin's amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
It really is. Glass skin is just it's not a thing. Like it's not a thing.
Yeah.
Like skin is skin at the end of the day. I don't think glass skin versus like acne prone skin, for example, like it's just skin.
Yeah.
And glass skin, I mean, you can obviously there are a lot of people in this world with clear skin, but what's the difference between clear skin and glass skin? Like glass skin is shiny, so I could slap some Vaseline on my face on a day where my skin is clear, and all of a sudden I have glass skin. But then tomorrow I wake up with a pimple and I'm an acne prone girl again. You know, it's like you can't have glass skin for life. You probably won't have acne for life. You also might not have clear skin for life. It's the same with like wrinkles, right?
Yeah, exactly.
When you develop wrinkles eventually, you're not going to have like wrinkle-free skin for life. So I just think glass skin was a very damaging time. And it lasted for a while. Like that whole glass skin trend, I remember when it came out.
When did it start?
It started in COVID.
Oh, is that? I thought it was recent.
It started like during 2021, I would say 2022, because I remember when I started posting on Instagram and when I first created my account, that's when when skincare started like popping off. Do you remember? Like skincare wasn't a crazy thing until like I'd say 2021.
I don't know.
Maybe because you're like obviously you wouldn't be in that community of like Instagram and that side of Instagram on like social media, but skincare was like it just became a craze overnight. And that's as soon as I got into social media and started posting, I fell into that naturally because I was posting about acne. And it was a very difficult world to be in when you have acne. Because obviously you've just got things being thrown at you, like products being thrown at you, people just giving you unsolicited advice. And just things that you don't really want to see or hear on a daily basis.
What skincare products or ingredients should people with acne avoid?
anything that's pore clogging. So like when you're looking at a skincare product on the back or even on the front, it will say non-comedogenic. I don't know if you've seen that, but basically non-comedogenic means it won't clog your pores. So that's one thing to always look out for, because if it doesn't say that, it means that it's got pore clogging ingredients in there. So it could just mean that it's more likely to break you out. But I mean, with skincare products as well, the one thing I do say to my clients and just people in general is I don't really post skincare content anymore, because I've realized, again, when it comes to the fixation of acne and you know that you just want to clear it as soon as possible, right? You will go out and buy every single like TikTok shop skincare product that you see, like quick buy it. You'll buy something else from Boots the next day, and all of a sudden you've got a 15-step skincare routine. You're stressing about it because you've got 15 steps to do in the morning before you leave for work or whatever, and you don't actually know what's working. Like if something is working out of those 15 steps, which one is it? If you bought all 15 products yesterday, which one is it? Tell me. So with skincare, it's with acne specifically, honestly, all you need is like SPF, a moisturizer, and a cleanser, and that's genuinely it.
So did you used to wear full face makeup in it
to school?
Yeah. So this is what, obviously it's easier than done with someone who don't suffer from it. So because I also think that these girls see people, whether in school or during work anyway, but they wear, you can obviously tell they have really bad acne, but they put foundation on top of to cover it.
Yeah.
But then how can people, because obviously they probably deep down inside they know they shouldn't be putting that on, but they can't stop from the cycle. So how can you break that cycle?
So that's actually something I work on as well. It's like people, okay, there's one story that really got to me, and it's from, again, one of my friends. She also suffered with like crazy acne. And this is when she told me this, I realized that mine actually, even though I thought mine was like the worst acne in the world, I never did what she had done. So she wouldn't, you know, when like a postman comes to your door for deliveries, she would miss deliveries just because she didn't have concealer on. Like she hadn't concealed all her spots. So she would miss deliveries just because she couldn't face like going to the door and actually seeing someone face to face. And that's someone who she doesn't even know, right? Like that's a 1 second interaction that you have with someone that might see you again, but not someone that you know, right? So imagine if that's how she's feeling about that person, like imagine how she feels about family, friends, like potential dates, like, you know, like anyone. So as soon as she told me that, I was like, wow, like this is serious, you know? And I realized that there's a lot that people need to work on mentally, right? Like before you even look at the physical.
It's like in personal training, for example, like I come across a lot of clients where they just think just need to get the dream body or lose weight, then I'll be happy. But it's actually it's more than that. It's deeper than that. Detaching, again, what we said earlier, this detaching yourself from your self-worth to whatever it is you think will make you happy or whatever. I used to have this client. She had liposuction, BBL, boob job, facelift. She was only 32 and she had a facelift, nose job, like more than once, lip filler, Botox, basically almost everything. But she would still come to the session and be like, "Oh my God, Celia, I ate so much this weekend. I look so fat." Like I think she had definitely body dysmorphia. And I was just like, you know, people would die for your abs right now, for your body right now. And then she's like, "No, you don't understand. You look at this." And then she's just like pinching whatever she's trying to pinch. But and then it just goes to show, like, even you have the perfect body, so-called perfect body, like you're not even happy. Like she's not at peace with herself.
See, that literally is that story is crazy, because that applies to the exact same situation of, again, as I said, like someone who buys a skincare product from TikTok, let's say, wants it to work, so will literally give it 24 hours in their mind, and if it doesn't work in 24 hours, they're out buying the next one, right? So it's like, okay, my skin is clearer or whatever, but it's not clear. Like it's not clear like hers, or it's not clear like hers. So I need to try something else. And with the amount of like stuff there is now to try and buy, like even with supplements and, as you said, like Chinese medicine, like there's so many different things that people can try. They could be doing this for years before they realize that themselves, like they need to check in with themselves rather than checking all these random skincare products.
Yeah. I think also people probably don't trust the natural remedies. Yeah.
People are very quick to trust something that's cheaper, first of all. And obviously with skincare, naturally, like it's, even though it's really expensive now, like it's still going to be cheaper than some, you know, herbal remedies and whatever. But it's a nature of people want a quick fix solution. And herbal remedies and like the holistic route normally isn't going to be quick.
Yeah. It's like basically a working out as well. People rather than get surgery.
It's like the BBL situation. Like people are going to get a BBL rather than do the 8 months of training to get a fat ass.
I don't know if I asked you this, but how did you learn to detach your self-worth from your skin, how your skin looks? So how did you gain your confidence? How long did it take you to get to where you are?
So I started my skin flared up last year again, and it flared up really badly.
When you say flare up, what do you mean?
I mean, like, I wish I could show you a picture. I mean, like, shall I show you a picture?
Yeah.
If I can find it. Literally almost as bad as it was when it was at its worst 3 years ago.
Right.
That's kind of my reference point, right? Like I can use that as a reference point because I remember how I was feeling in that moment. So if those feelings ever come up again, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm back in this stage. What am I going to do this time?
Yeah.
Because obviously now I'm at a stage where I've tried all the, you know, like the harsh routes and whatever else. So in my head, I was like, okay, I can't go through that again. What am I going to do differently this time? That's when I invested in my mindset coach. And that's when I was like, I'm going to shift the way that I kind of talk about acne on social media now. And I'm going to try and go on my own skin confidence journey. At the time, I had no idea what my next step was. Like, I just decided this is what I was going to do. But I had no idea what my first step was. I was like, how am I going to do this? When it came, you know, you were talking about women who wear makeup when they have like very visible acne. That's one thing that I told myself I wasn't going to do, because not even because I didn't want to. Obviously, I wanted to cover my skin in makeup, but I knew how painful it was going to be
to remove it.
And I knew it wasn't going to help. So I was like, you know what? As much as it's going to be really difficult for me to even go out right now with the way my skin is, it's going to be even more difficult to have to go through that day in, day out, and it potentially get worse. So what I did is I started giving myself little challenges every day, and I went on my first solo trip last year, and it was incredible. I went to Croatia for like 12 days.
Nice.
But that's when I had a really bad acne flare up. So it happened literally, I'd say like 2 weeks before I went. It was really, really bad. And I was like, I'm going to be in a place where I can't really track like what I'm eating. I'm going to be alone. I'm going to be obviously like out of my routine. There is a chance that my acne could get much worse in the time that I'm in Croatia. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to document it. Like, I'm just going to document it. I'm by myself anyway. I might as well, right? Like, if I have no one to talk to here, I might as well talk to the people that are on my page. And it did get worse. Like, my skin, when I got back, got even worse because of the way that I was, like, eating in Croatia. But it's so weird. I enjoyed every moment of my solo trip, even though my skin was completely flared up.
Basically didn't let it control you.
Yeah. Like, I didn't wear makeup once. I was wearing pimple patches. You know, like the star pimple patches? I was wearing them out and about, and people were like,
oh my God, I love it.
Yeah, no, honestly. I was like walking like down the beach. I was like, yeah, I'm going to get a star tan on my face, but that's fine. But it was little things like that, and documenting it made me realize, okay, I can actually look back on this.
Can you be in the sun if you have acne?
Yeah. You can.
Oh,
acne, the sun's actually really good for acne. That's another misconception, by the way.
Okay.
People assume that the sun is like awful for acne. The sun is
they
amazing.
say like,
for
because
your
if you have scarring, they said that you shouldn't expose yourself.
Yeah, because it can make your like scarring worse. As in, like, it can darken it. But obviously, like, vitamin D is essential for your skin. So sun is incredible for your skin. And obviously it's something we don't get here. But it's like when you're away, this is another thing, like people with acne will like either they'll put on like a crazy amount of SPF, or they'll like shy away from the sun. And actually, like, if anything, you should be like putting yourself out in the sun.
Do you wear SPF?
Yeah. I wear SPF every day. I have to. I'm a acne girly. Like, I have to wear it every day.
Okay.
But now, like, my SPF is my moisturizer. So literally my skincare routine, I remember, used to take me about 20 minutes from start to finish. It now takes me 10 seconds. Like, I'm literally like, in the morning, and that's it. And obviously that for me is so freeing, because even if I am breaking out, and I'm doing my skincare routine, I can still look in the mirror, smile,
Below, hello.
be like, hi, and carry on with my day.
Yeah.
Whereas before, if I had an acne breakout and I was looking in the mirror, my skincare routine would go from 20 minutes to like an hour. Because I was constantly picking at my skin, looking at my skin. Because think about it, when you're in a mirror and you have to do your skincare and you have to like rub something in, for example, you're literally rubbing in and you can see what's there. So I was like, okay, I don't look good enough right now. Like I have to pick this so that it's gone, or I have to. And I looked at my phone once. I was standing at my mirror for 40 minutes. 40 minutes.
Oh,
So you can imagine someone who has acne day in, day out.
yeah.
Some people wake up even earlier as well. Like there's other people that I've spoken to who, if they have to go to work, right, they will wake up an hour earlier just to put on makeup so that they can.
That's long.
Yeah, it's so long.
So long, yeah.
But it's the reality
of
having to do it every day.
In terms of like the looks then of the like acne and confidence. So when it comes to dating, because you're in a relationship right now, right?
I'm in a relationship.
Yeah. So when you first started dating, were you confident already, or?
I'm going to tell you something, and you're going to be like,
Okay.
"What?" Because I said it on another podcast actually. My ex, so I was with him for 5 years, and this is when when I said my acne flared up like crazy 3 years ago or 4 years ago now. The reason that me and my ex broke up is because he gave me an ultimatum. He said, you need to go on this really harsh antibiotic to clear your skin because I can't handle your emotions anymore. So he was like, you need to go on this to clear your skin or I'm breaking up with you. And I was...
Wait, he broke up?
So he said to me, he was like, you're too emotional about your skin flaring up.
It's not because how you look.
No, he was fine with how it looked, but he was like, you're too emotional about it. So either go on this really harsh drug to get rid of it and get rid of your acne so I can handle you, or we're breaking up, or I'm breaking up with you. And I was like, that's crazy. And now that I look back, I'm like, the fact that he put me in that position obviously shattered me, because that shattered my confidence, right? Because I was like, no one will ever love me again. Like, so long as I have acne and I have these, like, I'm not entitled to have my own emotions and share emotions, no one will ever love me. Then I went into a whole thing of like not showing my emotions with my family, like just being very low key. So obviously going on this confidence journey has also, it's been hard for me to kind of bring back emotions on such a intense level where I'm now sharing it with like random people that I don't know technically, right? So yeah, now in my relationship, my Instagram was out there straight away, right? And it's kind of one of the first things that I told him about. And he's a PT, my boyfriend. So he also creates content. And when I met him, my skin wasn't like completely clear, but it wasn't very noticeable. So it's not something that we really ever properly discussed, because I didn't, again, my whole thing now is my skin isn't my identity. So I don't need to bring it up. Like obviously I knew eventually we'd be talking about it if we got to that stage and if it got on like that deep of a level. But for the first kind of like 6 months, I was like, I'm only going to bring it up if I feel like I need to bring it up, or if he asks, right? And I think I was kind of already on my confidence journey without knowing. So I think he saw me as quite confident already when we first met. But now that I've finally been able to open up to him about everything that's happened in my past, he is now able to see it from a very different perspective. Yeah. And now I feel like he understands, even though he's never had acne himself. I just feel like he's kind of there with me, even though he hasn't experienced it himself. Kind of like having like a cheerleader in your corner. It's quite nice. Yeah.
So I've got some questions for you. What's your go-to confidence booster when you're feeling insecure?
I would honestly say, oh yeah, this is something I do all the time. Right, I go by this, and I've posted it a couple of times. I enhance my features and don't cover my flaws. So if I wake up with a breakout, my favorite feature about myself are either my eyes or my lips. So I will either put on like loads of mascara and like curl my eyelashes really nicely, and put on mascara, or I will do like a really nice lip if I'm going out, for example, and I will not cover a single spot on my face. And it honestly gives me a confidence boost just like that, because all of a sudden I'm looking in the mirror and my spots are there, for example, but all I'm focused on is what I'm currently doing. So I'll be focusing on like how much I love my eyelashes, or like how much I love my lips, and I'm fine. And that it's the smallest thing in the world, but it honestly sets me up for the day.
Love that.
So that's something I go by, like enhance your features rather than cover your flaws.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Embrace your flaws.
Yeah.
Your holy grail skincare product you swear by.
Skin 1004. This is a Korean product. Skin 1004. SPF.
Okay.
Oh my god, that literally, I recommended it to most of my clients, to be fair, because it's incredible. But again, it's my SPF that doubles up as my moisturizer and my skin sunscreen.
Yeah.
So that's the product that has made my skincare routine 10 seconds. Because literally, I put it on in the morning and that's all I need to do.
Yeah.
One, it's helped me mentally because it means I'm not staring at my skin in the mirror, like picking at my skin at all.
Yeah.
But it's also just helped like my skin in general. So yeah, I will be keeping that for the rest of my life.
So you do like Korean skincare?
I love Korean skincare.
Have you been to South Korea?
No, but honestly, it's on my list.
I've been there once, and they actually have like a street. Imagine Oxford Street, right? All of that is skincare products, different brands, and they've had like people like standing out there like trying to get you in. And you know what? They actually sell packs of face masks, a pack of 10 for the price of what, like five or something like that, really cheap. And me and my mum went there, and then we went with an empty suitcase.
Yeah,
came back full of like.
Of course,
they have
masks.
masks
That's incredible.
for everything, lip.
Foot masks.
Yeah, everything. They literally have everything.
I know.
They even have for the breast as well. I saw it. I was like, they literally had a mannequin, right? They put all the masks on different body parts to let you know what they have.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah.
They're living in like 2035.
Yeah.
Wow.
Next question. Best and worst skincare trend you've seen online.
Oh, I shouldn't say it.
Go on.
Have you seen, double cleansing, have you seen that? Where it's, okay, so this again started like 2 years ago, I'd say. People have started doing this thing where they double cleanse in the evening to get off their sunscreen and makeup. So they oil cleanse first and then follow up with a second cleanser.
Right.
And it's become like this crazy thing. And obviously someone with acne, right? They are going to assume that their skin's really dirty. So they're going to assume they have to do it. So double cleansing is genuinely... it's just not needed. Like, so many people do it, and obviously skincare brands are like making a shit ton of money off it because you're essentially buying 2 cleansers then.
Also, it strips away your natural oil. I was just about to say,
your natural oils completely strips everything away, and usually the oil cleanser is normally left in your pores. Like, you can't actually get rid of it all, and obviously for someone with acne, that means they're most likely going to break out because you've got oil that's not natural being left on your skin overnight.
So is oil cleanser a no then, to be honest?
Unless you're wearing makeup every day,
right?
Then I would use it. So if I'm wearing makeup, I will double cleanse. But I very rarely wear makeup now. But I know that obviously makeup is not something you want to be leaving on your skin. And like trauma for me, like you don't want to be leaving it on your skin.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's a massive thing. And again, like it's kind of in the skincare community, but everyone who's in the skincare community is doing it. And it's now something that's just put onto everyone. So anyone and everyone will do it. And it's not needed. Should
you wash your face? Obviously, I always do at nighttime before going to bed. Should you do it in the morning when you wake up?
Okay, so I hate being like, you should or you shouldn't do something because obviously it's very dependent on each person and whatever their skin condition is, like whatever they are going through, right? But personally, I do not cleanse in the morning.
Yeah, because I feel like I've just been sleeping. I've been out, and
nothing's
also
happened.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I just feel like I'm just washing, like stripping the natural oil away because also I do have dry skin as well, so I just splash water in the morning to wake myself up. That's it, really. Yeah. But nighttime, I would do maybe like milk based.
Oh, like a milky cleanser. Yeah.
So sometimes will be gel.
Yeah.
But like once a month.
Yeah.
With the exfoliator like that. Yeah. Because otherwise, I know it would make my skin.
That's really good. It's good that you just do it once a month, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, honestly, you don't need it any more than that. Like once a week is max, I would say.
What, for like exfoliating?
Yeah. But like once a month is
what about
absolutely
those
fine.
Plastic thing that has like those like soft brushy thing, but
don't use those. Oh my god. Oh god. All these things like sorry, like I'm actually kidding. No, all these things like you just don't need them. Like they don't do anything.
You just use your fingers fine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You just don't like.
I was being cool and like.
No, to be fair, like I get it. Like it's aesthetic. It's for content. It's like like a home spa experience. Like I actually get it.
Yeah.
But you just don't need to use them. Like they don't really serve any purpose. I think that the one thing to consider as well is that for someone who doesn't have a skin condition or has never experienced anything with their skin or any skin problems, it's very easy to be able to use those things and not react. But you can imagine someone who's got like very sensitive skin or like someone who's easily breaks out or whatever. If they want to use something like that, it becomes a big problem because their skin can't take stuff like that.
Right,
so it just needs the bare minimum.
Right, okay.
So yeah, I would say like if your skin doesn't like break out or you don't really experience any skin problems, then you could use it. But also, why would you if your skin has no?
I thought it's clean, innit? Make it extra clean.
I get it. It makes sense. But honestly, like your hands are all you need.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Okay, fair enough.
Save yourself some money.
But it's only just that, you know, that plastic thing.
Plastic thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not that it's expensive, but anyway.
No.
One self-care habit that changed your life and skin.
Self-care for me is interesting because for self-care, I think as well within the skincare community, people put skincare and self-care together. So self-care all of a sudden became
Skincare,
like having a relaxing evening at home and like creating like a spa situation for yourself. And like, of course, that's really nice, but it's not something that you can do every day.
Same with self-love. When some people think self-love is having a bubble bath face, I'm like, no. Self-love is a lot deeper than that. But yeah.
For me, honestly, going on walks. Walks genuinely changed my life.
Okay.
Like it just gave me a chance to, when things got very stressful and like I didn't want to speak to anyone, because I was at a stage, I live at home with my parents, right? So sometimes when my skin was flaring up, right, I was in a state where I was like, I do not want to speak to or see anyone. But I was in a situation where I was forced to be around people because there were people at home. So doing something as simple as going on a walk, right? That just allowed me to, again, like gain control because I took myself on a walk and I took myself out of that situation, even though no one was doing anything to trigger me, but it allowed me to gain control.
Yeah.
Just for that, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it was. And then I wasn't even in my own thoughts. Like I felt a weight lift off my shoulders almost like instantly. So going on walks now is something I pretty much do every single day, I would say.
To soothe your nervous system, innit?
Yeah, and again, it's something that I can do every day. It's not something I have to wait till I get home to do. It's not something I do like once a month. So for me, that's what self-care really is. It's something that you can do every day rather than something you have to do, like you have to set aside time for once a month, for example.
Anything you want to add that we haven't spoken about?
I just think with confidence in general, like, I mean, obviously you're huge on confidence as well, and like you're a very, very, very confident person. But I just think confidence in general, like confidence is what it means to you. I think again, like with social media, confidence has become this thing of like, oh, you book yourself into a dance class and all of a sudden you're confident. It's like, well, you could be at that dance class and not feel confident at all, right? But you've still done it.
Yeah.
So I think like confidence is just whatever you want it to be. Confidence could be sitting down in your bed and journaling. That could be confidence too. You know what I mean? I just think people need to stop comparing themselves, especially when it comes to skin, like skin stuff specifically. Confidence is literally whatever that means, or whatever it is to you and whatever it means to you. And so long as you're kind of working with someone or you're with someone who is supportive of that, you'll be absolutely fine. And it's also being able to realize when you're not around people or not in an environment that supports that. It's like that's really important as well for your confidence. Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem at all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming and taking the time, sharing wisdom and all of that. How can people find you?
Instagram at healing.with.key. TikTok and YouTube are just healing with key. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, any update on the conference, or you don't know when it's going to happen yet?
Yeah, Skin Confidence. The first ever London Skin Confidence event is happening in April.
I love that.
Yeah. So it's happening.
Love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, thank you for your love and support. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel because it will help me grow and help me reach out to more people. And if you not follow me on Spotify, please do leave me a 5-star rating and all of that. And if you know someone who needs to hear this because, for all to do with the self-love and confidence, also maybe the skincare condition, send it to them. And yeah. See you at the next episode. Mwah.